gentlemen, this one is actually pretty good. I can't even find any fault with it. Forensics experts claim Justin Bieber is a woman. Not necessarily a woman, but it goes on to describe her as a transgender that chose a male life and started taking hormones early on for different things. Doesn't go into whether or not everything down there is there, but she is accused of wearing a cup and other things like this. Let me go into everything here. This is from WorldTruth.tv. Forensic evidence specialists claim that Justin Bieber is a woman. You decide. I actually like this one because it goes into a lot of different things. You know, there's a lot of different people in the media that are claiming to be the other gender. I'm not going to mention people like Michelle Obama, but if that's what you're thinking, use this information, go to this site and look at this and look at photos. I haven't done it yet of those types of people, and proof is in the details, folks. I only watched it to about 25 minutes in, and it's too long for me to even put up, but I'll put up 2 or 3 major hints so you can go, holy crap. Oh, my bad, folks. So this is coming from February 20. Nope. Okay, so most of these don't really have a person that does it. So basically, let me go over some of the details, and then I'll play 1 or 2 major sections so you can see the ideas. Alrighty. So again, I don't know if this is photoshopped or what, so just go with it. I'll just tell you what I have. Alright, so according to this, there's a large list of speculations and different evidence which I can't disprove at this point because it's quite obvious, at least from what they've said. A while back, Daily News had a top 50 women on the web. And Justin Bieber, for some reason or another, is one of the most popular, according to coedmagazine.com, and believe it or not, for whatever reason, and this, folks, I'd be suing like crazy, she made top 7, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this photo here doesn't mean shit. This is all photoshopped with nice coloring and everything else. But when I get into this, you're going to kind of hit those high notes, and you're going to realize that this might actually be true. And I'll show you what I think is a little bit more true. Alright, so skull structure. So skull structure is important. This site compared her to a few of her male and female cohorts. And if the skull structure of the forehead is sloped down, it's more masculine or male-based. If it's sloped, hang on. If it's sloped, trying to make that slope. Okay, it's more masculine. Or if it's more vertical, it's more female. And the person known as Justin Bieber failed this test against Selena, let's see who they compare her to, and I say her because I have no doubt in my mind that she is in fact a female. The camera zooming in, that's nothing I can do. But they failed on multiple male celebrities. They put her against Daniel Radcliffe, Vanilla Ice, Mark Wahlberg. She failed all 3 times. They put her next to Selena Gomez. Oddly enough, hey, they were very on. Eyebrow ridge. Male eyebrow ridge challenge. Bony structure above eye. More thin in females. More rounded and ridged in males. compared with Miley Cyrus was slightly more masculine for Miley Cyrus. Jawline, females are smaller, more rounded than males, and males obviously have more broader, square jawlines. Hers came back curved and subtle, seemed to be more feminine compared to Selena Gomez, less male than Vanilla Ice. Obviously, Vanilla Ice has a more male status. Shoulders. There's a way to tell if someone is more male or more female by the shoulders, and this is something that I'd love to do. I would love to go out in public and just do this randomly, set up a booth somewhere and say, hey, can I test, how feminine or male you are based on your shoulders? Okay, get this. A healthy female's shoulders are 2.5 head sizes compared to the male's. In other words, okay, and I'm gonna do this as a test. Okay, best as I know it, I'm all male. Okay, you take my head, you should have 1, 2 for my shoulders, 1, 2 for my shoulders, and a regular male has 3 head sizes to each side, I believe to each side, for their shoulder. I believe that's how the saying is. A female, however, has 2.5 sizes. Okay? And on this, time and time again, she, the female transgender / celebrity known as Justin Bieber, has failed this test. They put her next to Selena Gomez and Tom Cruise. Again, lined it up with the female, with Selena Gomez, did not make it with Tom Cruise. Weird thing is, if you look at any of the photos, he has more of an hourglass along the hip line. Remains in all photos. No surgery was done to ever pad this or protect it. And here's a way to tell. In a male's indent waist starts below the navel. Okay, I'll explain in a minute. In a female, indent above the navel. And that's where the curvature and everything is. A woman has bigger hips for pregnancy. This was compared to Selena Gomez and Tom Cruise. Okay. Again, she failed. She has an hourglass figure. No matter how much she works on it, they never padded it down to where that hourglass diminished. Honestly, I'm looking at this too, folks. Yes, the pecs were taken care of and everything was there, but regardless the pecs, JBs were narrower, slender compared to everything. Again, put up against Tom Cruise and Mark Wahlberg. Theirs were more square like the jawline and more regular with the waist, whereas hers is more hourglass and more curvy. Next, this is fun feature. Wider neck for males, even with sizes of 5'7" or less, is true. I don't remember the ratio, but males have wider necks. JB's is narrower. They failed that. Ring finger. This is a common one, I think you know. Ring finger and index finger are basically switched on males and females. Okay? A natural male ring finger is longer, bigger, but shorter on the females due to testosterone. However, during the females, the estrogen development in the woman will cause shorter ring fingers in the womb. Okay? So she had a ring finger fail. She had a neck fail. She had a pec and navel fail. She being Justin Bieber. Okay? Now, this part doesn't matter so much, but this is really kind of weird. When posing, there's always padding in the shoulders to give more of a masculine look, always a cup feature for the pants or sagging of the pants or wearing a long t-shirt to cover a short torso. And if you look at the pecs, it always has that weird female shape, not like the rigidy, jagged men. It doesn't matter. Mine, you know, my best pecs look decent, but they don't have that weird female supermodel look. The weird look that the women do usually have. And I've seen some jackknife women who have straight sixes, and those women who do that, great. But JB, his is more like a woman's. Always. So, anyways, when posing, seems to always seemingly copy Marky Mark's rapper phase of Mark Wahlberg, which basically they're calling her the ice queen of the rap world. And with that, you always see no bulge in any major photos. Again, long t-shirts, padded shoulders, sagging of the pants, short torso, and everything else. I'm not controlling the Zoom, folks. It's doing it itself. I'll play 2 or 3 minutes at the part that's good. Okay, this part here I think is good. Let me do this.
Videos, you may be interested to know that I have a degree in criminal.
Yeah, we don't care. Criminal justice, and the other one does.
This is just one example of how many vulnerable young girls have turned their bedrooms into a Justin Bieber shrine.
Yay, Justin Bieber for real. Okay, let's go here. Let's do this one. Okay, I'm not going to get into makeup. Makeup doesn't really care. I don't care.
In fact, that she appeared on a top 50 list.
Bieber is considered by coedmagazine.com to be one of the top 50 women on the web.
Okay. To get to the better stuff here.
Who were only aged a few years apart when the photos were taken. In this first image, we can clearly see the contour of both foreheads. Notice the different angles of each forehead. The female forehead is more vertical than the male forehead, and this gives the young female a more childlike appearance. Notice how Daniel Radcliffe is, even without the lipstick. In fact, Miley's forehead appears to be just a little more masculine than Justin's. Can you guess what Miley was trying to tell the world about Justin when she decided to go with Justin's hairstyle on tour? Now back to the comparison with the male skull.
Let's take a look at the jawline. The female jaw is typically smaller than the male's and is rounded, where the male's jaw is broader and square. Notice in the image on the left how the jawline under the ear is much more square in shape. However, in the image on the right, we see a very soft jawline. Female skull. Now let's take a look at the same features in comparison to a known female.
In case you didn't notice, in both images, the angle of the foreheads indicate that we are looking at two females. Can you see which female has bigger ears? And when we take a close look at the brow ridge, or lack thereof, we can clearly see that the flat brow ridges also indicate that these are both females. And a close look at the jaw contour reveals that these girls have skulls that were formed
Natural waist indent points of males and females.
Notice how the waist indent points appear to be very different. One indent point is located below the navel, and the other is located above the navel. And there is a good reason for that. Women have bigger hips than men. They need big appearance of her shoulders. It is still quite easy to draw a line from below her armpit to her hip joint. If you draw the same line on the image of a healthy man, the side of the torso makes a straight line right to the hip. However, on the thin woman with the bulky arms named Justin, if you draw a line from the armpit to the hip joint, a visible indentation at the midpoint of that line appears. Remember, it is this indent
Video. So what happened to Justin Bieber's breast? This is a very important question and one that needs to be addressed.
The answer is really quite simple. When a young girl named Justin began taking hormone replacement therapy at a young age, her breasts did not develop during puberty. Testosterone therapy in young girls results in a more masculine muscle development, especially if it begins before puberty. And that is exactly what Justin did. Justin Bieber began taking testosterone before she reached puberty. She also managed her estrogen levels so that her breasts would not develop. Now that the topless issue is behind us, let's take a closer look at Justin's pectoral muscles.
Since Justin Bieber is only 5 feet 7 inches tall, it is important to note that we are putting her next to photos of a young male actor.
Tom Cruise. Okay,
In
this
life,
one's good too.
found refuge in a love for the performing arts, which is something she passed on to her son. Her mom,
Of Justin Bieber's true gender.
In fact, the MSM often flaunts Justin's true gender right in the faces of those who choose to idolize her as a male. The MSM wants you to believe the lie that they are flaunting. It is through subliminal brainwashing that the MSM pushes the message, Bieber and believe. Their brainwashing psychological operation, or PSYOP, is in fact so effective that now, when most people hear the name Justin Bieber, they believe that she is a he.
I'll read this real quick in case you can't. In November 2012, Patty Mallet, Justin Bieber's mother, appeared on George Strombolopoulos Tonight. In this particular episode, George says something quite revealing about Justin Bieber's true gender. Listen closely. It takes a second.
Bieberisms, that his mom's story she suffered a lot early in life, found refuge in a love for the performing arts, which is something she passed on to her son. Her mom, Patty Mallet. Her mom, Patty Mallet. Her mom.
Okay, folks? Get it? Okay. So, there you have it, folks. Use these anatomy things to find other celebrities who might be the other gender or close to it.